Hi again, everybody. I'm Brad Silbert. Welcome to the Hamilton County Television Sports Show. Special edition today, talking to head basketball coach Chris Huppenthal. Our sponsor today, Logan Street Signs and Banners. Coach Huppenthal, you're about maybe two-thirds of the way through the season, and the Lady Royals seem to be coming out very strong. 11-1 to start the season. Nothing to be ashamed of there.
First, I want to say I don't know how special this is if you're having me on here. If it's a special edition, so I just get that out of the way. We're a little bit over halfway done. We last night we just jumped over the halfway mark. 22 games of the season. We finished our 12th game last night. It's been a lot of basketball games here early, as we figured out at one point we had played 11 games in 29 days, and as of this Friday, we will have played 13 games in 35 days, which is a lot of basketball for our kids.
Let's just talk about the first half of the season. And first of all, changes going from last year to this year. Big changes for you, or things pretty stable?
Pretty stable. It's a veteran group. We have the 4 seniors who've obviously been around for 4 years. So we've had some minor hiccups along the way, and in the past might have been good to bring kids in and work on things where I think this group kind of gets and understands where the pitfalls are and maybe where some of the speed bumps are. So you get to handle this group a little bit different than you do young groups, because I think they understand what's going on and what is the expectations of themselves in this group.
The changes that did happen, the graduating seniors, new kids coming into the program, how has that affected the program? And talk about some of the people who graduated and some of the new people you got in the program.
Well, Shelby Ford and Erica Dedgewer are only 2 graduates, and both played roles for us last year, but not as prominent as what we're experiencing with our seniors this year. When these seniors leave, their playing time, there's a lot of minutes out there for our seniors right now, as well as we probably the only real new addition we have this year is Lydia Self, who's coming off the bench for us as one of our two players we use regularly off the bench, which is herself and Molly Walton. Molly Walton, a starter last year. We feel it's better to bring her off the bench. It's been very productive. Jackie Malucci has been the one that's been inserted into the starting role. And so far, all the chemistry and all that has worked out pretty well in that respect.
Let's talk specifically about the HCC in your overall schedule. You have never been one that has shied away from playing the better teams out there, and you guys play a tough schedule.
We do, and our schedule gets tougher at the end. We play a lot of the mixed schools at the end with Warren Central, Lawrence North, North Central's coming up. Early on, we've played in some shootouts. We've tried to schedule as many 4A schools as we can. Some of those schools are a little bit down in talent this year, but it's been a good start for us as far as finding out where we are, where we need to go, and what we need to do for the second half of the season.
Well, I noticed in looking at the schedule this morning when I was preparing for this that well over half of the remaining games that you guys have are against ranked teams.
And that's great. I think that's going to help us get ready for the tournament. We got Warren Central coming up, who is the state champion 4A. We got Zionsville coming up, who is the runner-up in 4A. North Central is in the top 2-3 in the state as far as their talent goes. So it is going to be challenging for us.
We've been talking to all the HCC coaches, specifically here in Hamilton County over the last couple of weeks, Coach. And one of the things that amazes me about the girls' basketball programs, specifically in Hamilton County and in the HCC, 8 schools in the conference, and if you look at the Indianapolis Star and their Fab 15, we've got 6 of our 8 teams mentioned as being in the top 15 teams in the Indianapolis metro area. Just, number one, that's odd to have happen, but I think that speaks very highly for the programs.
It does, and there's a lot of good coaches out there in our conference. I feel our conference is one of the best in the state. And I think the coaches make that the coaches are part of making it one of the best in the state. Very competitive, very knowledgeable, and very good coaches, as well as a lot of good players in our conference.
Let's talk a little bit more specifically about the rest of that schedule. I know you've mentioned a couple of teams, but a lot of very, very tough conference games and a lot of tough non-conference games.
Well, there is, and we're gonna worry about Avon as our next game. We understand the competitive part that's coming up, but as far as setting our sights and our focus, we're going to worry about Avon on Friday. It's a big conference game. We have to go there, and they're having a pretty good season this year. Coach West has done a really good job with that group. They've had some they graduated some kids, or some kids are not with the program anymore, and she's got that team playing as well as they have in the last 2, 3, 4 years.
A little personal note for you. Congratulations to you. I know you eclipsed the mark here earlier in the season, getting your 400th career win, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that may have come at the expense of a member of your family.
It did, and I appreciate that. You know, when you get to that many wins, though, it really means you're just old. And you've been coaching a long time, but I've been fortunate. We've had a lot of good players come through this program and in the Kokomo program and the Highland program that I was able to coach at, as well as we've had some good families, good parents. I've been fortunate also to have good leadership since I've been here with Jim Self, as well as the other schools I've worked for some really good athletic directors and principals.
I think one of the things that's made you successful from my standpoint is, you know, I kind of feel like you are a player's coach, and you surrounded yourself with some really good assistants to help this program.
Well, and I have. Our staff right now, we were fortunate that with the addition of Kylie Fisher this past year, Sean Parrish came on 2 years ago. Mark Wright's been with me for a few years now, and Mark Schlafer's been our freshman coach for a while. So we've been very fortunate here to have some really good coaches in our program.
Well, congratulations on a great start to the season, Coach, and we look forward to the second half of the season and going into the sectional starting at the end of January, beginning of February.
Thank you.
This is Coach Chris Huppenthal of the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. I'm Brad Silbert for the Hamilton County Sports Show on Hamilton County Television, brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners. Have a great day.